Hi, this is Jace Gordon Bartoli here with a book review. Today's book I'll reviewing today, Night of Power by Spider Robinson. This edition is from Berkeley Books, and this edition is from January 1986. Was first published by Bean in May 1985. This was a reread, and actually, this is actually the third time I have actually read this novel. The first two times I didn't get far in this book as it's very rough, which I'll explain later on in my review. But this third time I was determined to read more of this book because I find sometimes when I reread books that I give up on sometimes, I enjoy those books. But in this case, after rereading this book, I did not enjoy it at all, and I was really let down by it. Despite this sick cover artwork of like these like three gang members, and they're basically standing in front of a wrecked car, and there's like fire in the background. You can see the Brooklyn Bridge, and the city of New York is in like shadow. Despite this gorgeous car work, this book sucks. It is mostly drama. It's set like in an alternate future, but it doesn't really feel like a science fiction book or any action at all. It's just mostly drama. Characters spend most of the time arguing with each other. There's a lot of like racist bigots in this book, a lot of like racism in the book, and overall, I was just bored with this book. I was just really let down. I was expecting so much more from this book with such a interesting plot and setting, but I got hardly any action, any like scenes of like gang violence, gang brawls, gang fights, destruction. I got none of that. All I got was basically this drama-filled book with scenes that are you're only told what's going on, but it's never describing detail. It's just characters saying, "Oh, this is what's happening," but it never shows any of the carnage you want to see. And there's some other things with this book I did not like. And overall, I was just really disappointed with this novel. I was really bummed with it. I have another book by Spider Robinson. I'm hoping it'll be a lot better than this one, but oh, this was a huge letdown. And again, despite this gorgeous car work, it's not good as the book is, unfortunately. Alright, on to the book review, and spoiler alert, as I will be giving away crucial details within the story. Plot: set in the alternate future of 1996, Russell Grant, his black wife Dina, and 13-year-old daughter Jennifer have left Halifax, Nova Scotia, as it's taken them 3 days to reach New York City. As Dina has been offered to dance at the Joyce Theater and wanting to revisit the city he grew up in, the family plans a nice little vacation. While traveling along the bridge, the Ford sedan's auto voice lets them know they are going low on gas, and both Dina and Jennifer have to use the bathroom, and traffic is getting bad. Dina uses the car's computer, opening up the map, and tells Russell different routes to take. However, as he gets closer to New York, a traffic jam is up ahead. Russell takes a detour to bypass it and goes towards the East 125th Street. Seeing the city he grew up in hasn't changed nor improved, it's only gotten worse. Garbage littering the streets, burned out shells of vehicles, broken windows, abandoned buildings, graffiti spray paint over the walls, and gangs roaming the streets. While driving by, a tomato is thrown in his windshield. He tries getting off the street but is stuck in traffic with a group of gang members approaching his car. The four gang members vandalize his car by stripping it of its hubcaps, license plates, and wiper blades. The man demands them get out of the car, but Russell refuses. One of the gang members attempts to smash open the driver window with a brick. Russell throws the car in reverse but is forced to stop to avoid hitting a car behind him. But they are all stopped by a street preacher, Michael, who reasons with the gang members to return the hubcap and license plates and to leave before police show up. After taking a report and making the repairs to his car, Russell continues his trip through the urban jungle. While waiting at a rest stop, a squad car pulls over and both officers question him about the damage to his vehicle. He explains what happened, but they don't buy his story and charge him for 2 tickets for illegal parking and false plates. Feeling angry but doesn't snap back, once both Dina and Jennifer return, they drive out of there, reaching their apartment they'll be renting for 3 months. When Russell meets the owner, Shaw, who welcomes them and tells him where to park his car next to a fire hydrant, as he informs him the city police is corrupt and they haven't had a chance to run after all the tickets they handed out with the increasing gang violence. As both Dina and Jennifer get settled into their rooms, a servant, Jose, offers any help for Russell and his family. He also warns them about the gangs in the area as they won't react well seeing a white man with a black woman. He then shows Russell a 9mm Smith & Wesson 559 pistol with extra ammo and spare magazines. While Russell never used the gun before, but after what happened on his way here, he'd rather be safe than sorry, and takes the gun. Russell then shows Dina the gun and how to use it in case of emergency. The next day, Dina goes to rehearse for the coming dance, while Russell and Jennifer go to visit their grandparents who live further away from the city in Orient Point. Upon reaching the old beach house, it hasn't aged well, and the other houses nearby also look in rough shape. During dinner, Russell's father begins expressing his hatred towards the black neighbors in his area and disapproves of his marriage with Dina. This causes Jennifer to yell in anger. Both she and Russell leave and drive back home in silence. Russell is both disappointed by his father's views of race and angered as well. Dina also senses the hatred while riding the subway, feeling she's being watched wherever she goes. However, upon arriving at the Joyce Theater, Dina sees its owner, her ex-boyfriend, Dramone. They started off well, but Dina didn't like Dramone's beliefs in militia groups and his views on whites. It's also hinted Dramone abused her in the past, causing her to break off their relationship. And it seems that Dramone wants Dina back in her life, and his views haven't changed one bit. Dramone is also part of a black Muslim militia group who's planning to launch a revolt, a event they call Night of Power. 2 weeks later, Jose takes Jennifer to a concert at Madison Square Garden to see a band she likes. Jose ensures both Russell and Dina they return back home safely. However, during that night, as Russell is sitting out in the garden looking at the stars, Dina returns home as Russell is shocked to see his wife's hair has been shaved and her clothing has changed. He demands to know who did this to her, as Dina explains her ex-boyfriend Jermone did it, as if she refused she would lose her job. The two argue till Russell storms out of the apartment, taking the pistol with him. Russell is disgusted with the city's image and how ugly it's gotten since he left, and wished he never returned. After cooling off, Russell goes to return home, but is nearly mugged when he threatens the person with his sidearm, scaring them off. As Dina wonders the state of her relationship, Jermone shows up and warns her the Night of Power is near and word is traveling fast that any mixed-race couples are marked for death by gangs. Jermone wants to take Dina to his hideout, but before he can do anything, Russell shows up but is held at gunpoint and forced to hand over his weapon to Jermone. Dina tries to explain to Russell what's going on, but isn't going to allow someone else to steal his wife. As Jermone's car pulls up with two gang members inside, they travel through the streets and are nearly killed by a rival gang that pulls up beside them, and the passenger opens fire with a submachine gun. Russell saves both his wife and Jermone from being shot, as both the driver and passenger are killed, causing the car to crash. They flee to a hideout as it's revealed that Michael is part of this militia group and wants Dina and Jennifer and wants Russell to leave, and if he refuses, he'll have him killed. However, Jomo makes a deal with Michael since he saved his life. If Russell can bring back his daughter to them, he'll spare his life. Russell has no intention of doing what Michael wants, as he and Dina are forced to go with them. However, as Michael brings both Russell and Dina into an art museum where he reveals a secret underground base and has been using the subway system to sneak in anything he wants and plans to take over New York City by unleashing a massive army against all white citizens, along with sabotaging every piece of technology to ensure nobody can stop them. But to make matters worse, they overhear one of Michael's men stating Jerome ran into trouble as they have no idea where he or Jennifer is. As the race war outside intensifies, Russell hatches a plan to escape to get out into the violent urban jungle and rescue their daughter and then get out of New York City alive. Night of Power is a drama-fueled novel that has hardly anything happening to the point where it's mostly boring. The synopsis states that it's about a family trapped in the city's Holocaust. However, we don't get any scenes of gang warfare or any other events taking place. We are only told what is happening outside of New York City throughout the novel, with very little moments of action or fighting taking place. The whole time this novel teases you events that you want to see what's going on, but not once are we shown anything, and the author drops the ball by having this big build-up leading to an event that all the characters are talking about, Night of Power, but again, we are never shown any of these scenes. We are only told what is happening, and despite what the paperback edition features on its cover, you'll never see any scenes of gang fighting other gangs, rampaging through the streets of New York, or any scenes of destruction. I was also disappointed by the lack of future themes within the story, as I was hoping to see more of this alternate dark future, but again, the author doesn't show much. While he adds the high-tech sedan with a computer built into the dashboard along with the auto voice telling the driver when they're low on fuel or when a toll is coming up, but doesn't go any further with this, as I want to see New York as this high-tech metropolis that's quickly turning into an urban war zone. And if that wasn't bad enough, the cast of characters within this story are mostly unlikable. While Russell is trying to save his daughter during this madness, however, his wife Dina would rather join the militia group than go to rescue her daughter, which leads to many scenes of Russell and Dina arguing with each other. There are more scenes of characters arguing than violence. And the rest of the cast we come to know aren't interesting or offer anything else to save this novel. But by far the worst was the racism within this story. Many scenes were rough to read through and had a few moments where I had to put the novel down and cool off before returning to it or find something else to do, as having to read scenes of racist bigots and hatred towards blacks was making my blood boil. I felt the author, Spider Robinson, over-exaggerated the racism as he focuses on this too much and not with the plot of the story, and lastly, the ending was a huge letdown. If Robinson cut out all the drama, focused more on the gang violence and adding more to the plot of the story by having scenes of Russell and Dina having to fight off gangs and even cops to rescue their daughter and escape out of New York City alive would have been made it way better, and cut out all this racism as all he had to do was just say what different races are at war with each other. That's it. You don't have to keep repeating one word over and over and over again. Overall, I don't recommend Knight of Power. It's a very boring and drama-filled novel with nothing good about it. It will mostly anger you trying to read it as it's very rough to get through, and wanting to see scenes of carnage and gang warfare are never shown once throughout this novel. Avoid this novel. It isn't worth wasting your time with. And that's the review today. I hope you enjoy it. And yeah, this book was a huge letdown. Like, this cover, it looks like it's going to offer so much more, but it does not, unfortunately. As I said, this book is just drama-filled. It is just characters arguing with each other over stupid and dumb things to the point where I was getting bored. It's like, oh, shut the hell up and just get this scene over with, and so I can just get the story moving. And oh, I did not like this book at all. Just the drama really really ruined it. It was just the story focuses too much on characters arguing each other, and the whole race thing was really just not making it an easy chore to get through. And I thought, when are we going to see some, like, gang violence already? Like, where are we going to see scenes of, like, gangs clashing with each other, destroying buildings, and just rioting and looting? We never get any of that. We're only told what is happening outside of where these characters are. And this amazed me. There is a scene where Jennifer and Jose go to this concert, and things get rowdy very quickly when the band they're watching decide to sing some very kind of offensive songs, and this really causes some tension with the crowd. Both Jennifer and Jose get back to the apartment with no trouble. I was expecting this is where this is where the whole race war is going to start. No, it doesn't happen. This happens after they get to the apartment and they hear what's going on, but we're never shown any of this. And I was expecting to have like some scenes where they turn on the TV, like the TV, and the news crews are recording, like capturing this raw violence that's happening within this dark future of New York City. Again, we never get any of that. There is no scenes of gang violence. There is very little. There was the beginning part where the family is assaulted in the beginning of the book, and then the drive-by, and that's it. There's hardly anything, and I was like, I was really disappointed. And one thing I didn't like this book has like little sections about racism and violence towards blacks, like history, like little chapters of like history and interviews with people of what they think about this sort of thing. I wish these scenes were cut out, and the author just focused more on the story instead of adding these history like these interviews and text taken off history books. Just focus on the story. That's what I want to read. And there's like Russell's the only character I cared for in this story, and wanted to see him and Jennifer get out of this book alive. There was that point towards the end where Dina wants to join the militia group instead because she feels her race is more important than saving her daughter. And I just thought, you know what? Screw you. If you want to join this militia group, fine. I'm going to go and risk my life to save my daughter. That would have been better too, but that doesn't happen. And the ending is a huge letdown. As soon as not even like a few minutes after this whole Night of Power event is started, the person who's doing this, Michael, he basically states, I've won the war instantly. Like, there's no resistance, there's no military or National Guards coming in. No. by the end of the book, he's like, I've won the war. I thought, oh, this is bullshit. Oh, I was just really disappointed with this book, and I was hoping to see more of the future themes. Like we have like this high-tech sedan, which kind of predates what today's cars are like, because there's auto voices that let you know when you're arriving to your destination, when you're low on gas and stuff like that and stuff. That's like the only high-tech thing we get, and nothing else. I was expecting so much more from this book, and it was just really disappointed with it. And as I said, the racism is really it makes this book very rough to read through, and I felt the author focused way too much on this. Like he just kept focusing on this. I thought, okay, you can stop now. I get the idea. You don't have to keep over exaggerating, but he just keeps on doing it to the point where I really hated reading scenes of like of these racist bigot characters and what they think. I was just getting really tired of it. So yeah, this is not a book that I would not recommend at all. It's a very rough read to get through, and it doesn't really offer anything. So I'm hoping this other book that I got by Spire Robinson. It's like I've discovered it's an obvious edition which has two books combined into one. So I'm hoping that will be better. It's the Death Killer Death Killer series. So it's got two books in one. So I'm hoping that would be a lot better. But overall, I don't recommend this book. Just avoid it. It's not worth reading. There's probably better, like, violent dystopian books you can find on, like, gangs and, like, futuristic cities and stuff like that. Alright. For my next book review, this will be the next book I'll be reviewing. Midnight Graffiti. This is an anthology collection. I started this back in October, and I wasn't enjoying it, and decided to focus on horror novels. This is back in October last year, so I'm kind of, like, at the halfway mark, so I'm going to read for the rest of this, see if this gets better or not, and if not, I'll just go to another novel instead, but this is what I'm going to be reading next. Alright, that's it for the review today. I hope you enjoyed it, and please don't forget to subscribe to October Library, the YouTube channel, and the Facebook group of the same name, and please push a review of fiction. Until then, I'll catch you later.